Remember when is the lowest form of conversation.
I like having fun. I like to laugh.
On the two.
I like to meet people who can make me laugh.
Backbeat.
I like having fun. Yes, I like it to laugh.
No one else is clapping. Okay, I guess I'm out here on my own to fucking die. Good morning. That's it. Nice. Good rhythm. That's on the two. We love on the two. A lot of whites are doing on the one, but we're on the two. The whites. Nightmare sound. All right, we have some latency. And some latency here. Good morning, everybody. It is Office Hours Live. Egg salad. Today's magic word is egg salad.
Yum.
Call us in with your favorite egg salad sandwich you've ever had. I want to hear all about it today. And maybe we'll have time to get to our guests. But priority one is egg salad stories.
You ever get a shell in your egg salad?
Excuse me? What?
You ever get a shell in your egg
Yes,
salad?
of course.
Okay.
Of course. If
Let's
you have
check
stories
in.
of horror and horrible eggshell in your egg salad sandwich, we want to hear those too. Frankly. Doug, you're vegan. Do you ever use vegan eggs?
Huh? I eat the shells. I find nothing wrong with that.
All right, let's begin. As I've stated previously to my wife privately, today is August 8th. That's what I do every morning when we wake up. I wake up, I get out of bed, and she's fast asleep, and I rustle her up. I said, it's August 8th! I do that every day. I always say, no, don't go there. Don't go there. Don't go there. I say what the day is. I don't always say it's August 8th. And she's like, okay.
Don't you just take your balls out of your wife's purse? Make a stand for one time in your life.
Anyways, it is August 8th. I would never bullshit you on that. This is live.
Wife doing she doesn't work.
And we have fans of the show as guests today, I think. I believe in my heart that our guests
Hopefully they
today
say yes.
are fans. Because I'll just announce them after I announce my co-hosts, Doug Loosenhop.
Good horning. I forgot the horn. I have a horn here.
Thank you. And Victor the Burger.
No, I forgot about my original catchphrase. I saw someone wearing a shirt the other day, and it was a Vic Berger shirt. So, hello everybody. Remember that one?
Yeah, I do.
Kind of
hate it. And let me just also say that shame on you for forgetting to remind us that it was your birthday yesterday.
Well, I don't have to remind you again. Just put it in the calendar. Every year it'll show up.
You should have written us and said, boys, today's my birthday. Hint, hint. Wink, wink.
You could have said, hey, we went to the ball game for my birthday.
True, I could have said that, but I didn't because I'm a nice guy.
I'm with you,
I don't want to make you feel bad.
You don't want to...
I don't like all the attention.
Yeah, I don't like
I just
that.
don't.
So everybody stop. Don't wish Vic Berger a birthday.
Just don't.
Happy birthday today.
Just
when
say,
you
I'm not
call
going to
in.
wish you a happy birthday, right?
Okay. Also, I don't want people. We should remind people of ground rules. When you call in, I don't want to hear, "Hey, how's it going?" Right? Hey guys, how's it going? You see how it's going. You already see it. Okay, be respectful. And you call in, say, "Hi, it's Joseph. I live in Minnesota, and I would love to ask you a question."
I wouldn't even do that. How about this? What's your favorite sandwich? Just straight to the question. Not even
Egg
like
salad.
No salutations.
Who cares what your name is or hi or where I'm from?
Some of that is a
It's the
little.
city of the day.
Some of that's a little interesting.
Get
to
into
me.
that afterwards.
Hey, how's it going? That's what we usually get. How you guys doing?
Fan
Look.
in the background.
Look, it's time for me to introduce the guests. And these guys are sitting here patiently, laughing, enjoying themselves. But it is an honor to have one of them here, and it is a pleasure to have the other one here.
Thank you.
Let me say that. We have from their own podcast, Dudesy podcast, controversial, I'll say. We'll get into all the controversy. We have the legend, Will Sasso, total legend, and Chad Kultgen. who's somebody that does a podcast with Will.
That's right.
That we'll find out more about. Welcome to Office Hours.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks
for
very
having
much
us.
for having us.
It's a pleasure in the
I'm
owner.
getting a lot here while they're trying to communicate with me.
I wanted to ask you,
Yeah.
hey, how you guys doing?
Well, good now. I'm good. I'm glad you're here. I'm good. I'm good now. This
Glad to
is
be here.
exciting to have you here. I want to get so much to get into.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, but if you don't want to get into it, we don't have to. We can just wrap things up.
Either way, I mean,
Well, later in the show, I was going to solicit your help because I've been seeing this a lot in the past couple days. A huge outcry, a huge movement, I would say, by about half a dozen or so people online to get me to play JD Vance, perhaps on SNL.
Nice.
Or if Mad TV still, it's not. That's
I
not still
believe
on.
there's still. I'm not sure. I'd have to check. I don't get TV Guide anymore.
Okay. People want me to play JD.
Hey guys.
That would be good.
Yeah.
You could
So-
grow a beard on the.
Oh yeah,
real
and
quick.
I just had a beard and I shaved it by mistake, accidentally.
See, unironically, they would probably give you some eyeliner so that you could match his shading, but then he apparently wears eyeliner.
Right.
So you'd have to double eyeliner.
What's this now?
I don't know. Showbiz
I want you to kind of maybe later in the show. I do have some eyeliner.
Okay.
And I
good.
have a suit here, so maybe you could tutor me into a good audition.
I haven't spent much time studying JD Vance.
Right. But just that
And the
we can
answer
work
is
on
yes.
it together.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Yes.
Because
I'm excited.
if you see, there's a movie I did called Mr. America, and we did that several years ago. But there's parallels between that character and JD Vance that are almost hard to ignore. I think you'll find. Anyways, okay.
Shouting a
tweet about that.
Well, let's get into it. What are they?
Well, we'll get into it later.
That's just a teaser.
Some big news. This weekend I'll be at ThingFest, whatever that is. Music festival.
Oh, it's coming up.
That's this Sunday, me and the band. Sans Vic, who has to be
Yeah.
home. He's grounded. He's got to put the kids
Got to
back to
do
school.
all kinds of stuff.
Where's the fest at, Tim?
Outside of Seattle, just east of Seattle. So that's happening. If you know about it, you know about it. I'm not going to go on and on
I
about
heard it
it.
rains there a lot, Tim.
What?
I heard it rains a lot in Seattle.
Oh, it'd be a blessing if it rained out.
Hope the organizers aren't going to Zoom right.
The show got rained out?
No. Anybody going? Who knows? What else? Oh, and Matt wants me to mention that we've got new merch. You can see the new merch right here. We've got shirts and mugs. I think are they selling the mugs as a 2-pack? And a 2-pack? Sure.
Yes. The
Two-
preferred
two-pack,
mesh.
sure.
Are you sure?
Are you sure? 2-pack?
Preferred format is you get both mugs. You can get them individually for a slightly higher price.
Yes. It's
And
encouraged.
the working hours, the Phil Braun working hours shirt is not supposed to be in the store.
Okay.
It should not be.
That should not be there. Do not buy it. I'll be issuing refunds for those
Copy that.
if anyone buys them by mistake.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
I like the silence, Tim. Let's try that. We should
Yeah,
do
how about
silence
like a
more.
little air? Like we don't have air in this room. Let's try to create it with.
Never be afraid to leave dead air. That's something I think the podcast world needs.
Desperately.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
What are they going to do? They're not going to switch it. They're driving.
They're waiting to hear.
You're doing
They're gonna
something
turn
at
it
home.
up.
You got your
They're not
hands
gonna
are busy.
be
Yeah.
Soft.
No, you're just doing the opposite. You're talking right on top of him.
I'm sorry. I'm just excited. Come on.
We are excited.
How often does this happen?
Double eyeliner.
Well, first, let's talk about this Dudesy podcast that you guys have been doing.
Sure.
So, I mean, how much do you want to? How much do the audience? It's a podcast that's dictated what you do by an AI bot, or is that not true?
Well,
Or is that left to the imagination? Is that something you don't want to get into the details?
everything is left to the imagination in the world of podcasting. That's
Yes.
why we like to leave big blank spaces.
Right.
And just let people imagine the podcast that they would like to listen to. And we find that does, I won't say it does well for us.
No.
But no. Dudesy is our good friend up in the ether who sort of puts us through the course runs the Wheels of Steel. And I like to say that while we are in the studio with Dudesy, that I do pretty much everything Dudesy asks me to do, unless I don't. And I don't know much about AI. I don't know how real Dudesy is. I know.
You're not curious?
I stopped being curious a little while after we started doing the show. And I feel as if it's important for me in this experiment to share with the audience that my attitude towards Dudesy is that it is real.
Okay.
If you tune into a television show and you're watching, you guys like, I don't know, Remington Steele. Mad About You.
Remington Steele.
Mad About Remington Steele. And and Helen Hunt walks in and says, what was the name of Paul Reiser's character on the show?
I don't remember.
Might have just been Paul. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it might have been.
It was Paul?
Maybe.
But Helen Hunt's character wasn't Helen, I bet,
No.
because Paul Reiser probably created the show.
Right.
So if Paul Reiser came in and said Helen Hunt's what was Helen Hunt's name?
Don't remember that either.
And,
The only thing I remember about that show is there was an episode where Paul Reiser took Viagra and got locked out of his house naked and had to walk the streets with an erection naked.
And they showed that on national TV, the erection?
It was different.
Paul
back then.
Reiser's
You remember
It was the first and
90s.
only
Yeah.
erection.
Her name was Jamie Stemple.
Jamie Stemple. So if
Stemple?
thank you.
Wait a second.
If Paul comes in and goes, Jamie, I was outside, my dick was big and hard, and veiny, and then Jamie Stemple, rather Helen Hunt, goes, Paul, my name is Helen Hunt. Then
Breaks
you're
the
not going to have
illusion.
you're not
Right.
going to have a good show.
Okay.
So there's what I don't understand about AI,
Okay.
and then there's what I want to believe. And
Chad,
I-
what's your position on this, dude?
I mirror pretty much what Will is saying.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well,
We're
feel
both
free to
big
go get some coffee
professional
or do whatever you
wrestling
want.
fans. Sorry.
Now,
I
what's
mean-
up with this law? Can we talk about the lawsuit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much of it can you? Is there a line where you're like, I can't talk about this for legal reasons, or is it oh good?
No.
Okay, Chad, bring us up to date on the lawsuit.
Okay, so Dudesy, our podcast, we put out an hour-long stand-up special of George Carlin's material as though he were alive in the year 2024.
Posthumous. Was it posthumous? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Talking about, Trump, politics, everything basically that's going on in contemporary American culture.
Right.
And we put it out. It sounded kind of like him. Some can say it didn't or did. Everybody has their own opinion on that. And then also there was an hour-long video that was generated with AI image generators.
Copy.
And I wrote that, and I made all of that.
Okay, so
was not
the AI bot didn't write the special. You wrote it.
Yes.
This fucking psycho for 7 months wrote or something like this. The process was, if I may,
Please.
he
Tell them
watched
my process.
he watched every single George Carlin special,
Which
is
of there many, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that's the fun part.
But, I mean, I had already done that just in life.
Sure.
As
Yeah.
I'm sure
That's
every
his
one of
guy.
us in this room.
I've watched a few, yeah.
But getting to go back and rewatch them in order and really see the evolution of what he was doing as his career progressed.
Yeah.
And then try to take that and project out what is the next step of that, or what would it have been if
Right.
he was alive. To me, it was a fantastic artistic kind of experiment.
Sure, yeah.
And then to try and bring it to life and see what the reaction was going to be.
He sort of,
And it was strong,
Not to
to say the least.
digress, and I don't think I saw a little bit of your. I didn't watch the
Yeah.
whole thing, but it seems like if I recall the end of Carlin, he got pretty like dark and like hopeless, right?
I mean, there was
Little
always
like
kind of, I think,
like,
in all
it
of
doesn't
his stuff.
fucking matter.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of that.
Yeah.
I think there was a little bit of, when he was younger, it did seem like there was kind of hope in what he was saying. I'm going to kind of skewer American culture in the hopes that it can change, or to
Yeah.
kind of like shed light on these problems. And by the end of it, it was kind of like, fuck it, the problems are always going to be
yeah,
there.
important problems like, I'm going to get on the bus. No, fuck you. I'm getting in the bus. All right.
But yeah, we got sued by his daughter
Right.
and her lawyers who...
Did it jump? Let me ask you this, because I don't know the law and lawfare.
You are fired.
Did it jump right to sue?
Yeah.
There wasn't like a, hey, can you take this down, cease and desist vibes?
No, we got one of those about 6 months prior from Tom Brady.
He did the exact same thing with Tom Brady, everybody.
Okay.
Tom Brady stand-up
Tom
special.
Brady stand-up special?
It was a 1 hour stand-up special, but Chad's a brilliant writer, and it was more like a 3 hour Tom Brady special because he never took a breath.
It was just a machine gun for an hour. And at the end of it, you're kind of,
I'd like to watch that.
you know.
That was fun.
I'm sure it's somewhere
Okay,
still
so
on the
she
internet,
sues you for this.
Yeah.
And what happened with the Tom Brady lawsuit? Must have
That was
sued-
just a cease and desist.
cease and desist. Okay,
More
so
sensible.
Did you feel deflated after he...
easy.
Nice.
Dog. Come on.
No, to me it was like, well, I guess he heard it, or his lawyers did at the very least. That to me was funny.
Right.
You know, and it's like a lot of work goes into these things for sure. But to me, it's always experimental, and it's just like drop it in the internet, see what happens. And if what happens is a cease and desist from Tom Brady, in some way, I think the art served its purpose.
Right.
You know?
So, Will, is this like a Tenacious D thing where you're like, hey, can you not do this anymore? We're going to have to break it. 'Cause this is affecting me.
100%, yeah.
Please,
Yeah.
I hope it's not a Tenacious D thing.
I'm standing there holding the fucking cake going,
Yeah, exactly.
are you kidding me? Why can't we just make a talk show?
Yeah. But what's going on with the
Chad,
lawsuit?
he wants to do-
Can't we back channel this and say,
Yeah.
we're sorry?
Nope.
The lawsuit has been settled.
It's been settled.
The original terms of it were, I'll simply say this. The idea that an AI could actually make this is not accurate in 2024. There are no AI tools that are at least commercially available that could make any of this stuff.
Don't say that. Next thing, you're going to make me believe the Dudesy isn't real.
I'm not saying that. I'm talking about the stand-up special specifically.
Oh!
Okay.
So it comes out, and then there's kind of a knee-jerk reaction. You either like it or you hate
Yeah.
it. You think it's an abomination. You think it's kind of interesting, whatever. You think it's
Right.
funny. You think it's not, whatever.
Your perspective is that this is essentially a large-scale impression
Yeah.
of somebody, which has been, which you can attest to, is about as legal as buying a loaf of bread.
Yeah, exactly.
Legal as buying a loaf of bread. That
Who
was
was
Johnny. I don't know. I'm
It was
sorry.
Johnny Carson for a
Was it Johnny
second.
Car-
And then
about as legal as
No. There you go.
Yeah.
When you're bombing on a Carson,
Yeah.
you
turn it
go into
into
a
a
McMahan.
McMahan.
Yeah.
As impersonators, Tim, I understand. that.
But part of the premise of this special was that, it was the AI doing an impersonation of George Carlin.
Yes.
And it says very explicitly, this is not George Carlin.
Yeah.
And part of the conceit was that this AI had listened to all of his stuff, just like a human would, to do
Right.
the impersonation. So the lawsuit then stipulated that we owed a certain amount of money, 125 grand, 150 grand per copyright infraction, which these lawyers believed was every special we had uploaded into the AI. None of that happened.
Oh, wow.
So in the end, it would be $0. We wound up settling for, what was it, $1,000 donation to a comedy charity.
Well, that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah. No, exactly.
I wish all my problems could go away with $1,000.
Well, I mean, the reality of it was there was no problem.
I
The
don't
thing-
have any problem. I'm not being sued, by the way, just to be clear.
There was the basis of the lawsuit was completely frivolous because there wasn't
Right.
the thing they were saying happened didn't actually happen. It was like they didn't understand or do
That
enough
seemed like,
research
would
to
you
know
say
that.
it was may have been a knee-jerk reaction to the situation?
Totally, which
Yeah.
was kind of surprising to me that lawyers would not research this
Right.
at all to
There would
find
be a
out
little
like,
bit more prudence
yeah.
involved in this
Exactly. But it seems like there wasn't. But all that
All right.
said, everybody's reaction to it is their reaction, and
Right.
that's all
And
valid.
I mean, if anything, anything that brings Carlin back up into the cultural discussion is probably good for the brand. The Carlin.
Anything for the brand.
Yeah, the Carlin. And Matt, of course, was
Yeah.
involved too. This Matt Carlin. This is
Yeah.
an ancestor of the George Carlin.
This is Captain.
I am the plaintiff.
Very good to meet
Well,
you in
good to meet
person.
you. Yeah.
Cheers, mates.
Kelly, Matt's sister Kelly was.
She's a great gal.
Yes. All right, let's do. This is going to be a. First of all, what is first of all? I've got.
Well, we do have an egg salad caller on the line.
Oh, okay. Let's take a call. Yeah, we haven't even taken a call.
Yeah, we can go to the hotline. Patrick, you got some egg salad talk for us? You're live on the air.
Yo, egg salad. Hey, before I say anything, I didn't realize the Carlin thing was not AI generated, so this is an education for me.
Great.
Happy to educate.
So that's great, and I will have to. Is it off the line? Is it offline now? Like you can't listen to it anymore? Is that part of it?
Yeah, part of the lawsuit being settled was that we had to take it down, and also that George Carlin's daughter now owns it. She owns
Great.
the copyright.
You fooled me too, because my friend sent it to me, and we were
Yeah,
like,
me
"What
too.
the hell? How is
Yeah.
this?
Yeah.
Is amazing." Anyway,
Well, we love being
Thanks for
fooled.
checking.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, well, now what's your egg salad situation?
Make a good point.
I did have the greatest egg salad sandwich in Tokyo earlier
Oh,
this
people
year.
talk
They're
about the
very
Japanese
famous.
egg salad sandwich being very, very good. And now I'm hearing that
Incredibly.
I'm hearing that what's it called? 7-Eleven is bringing the Japanese egg salad sandwich experience to their stores.
Now, I do have to advise, it gave me severe diarrhea.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you for the call.
That's later though. With egg salad, specifically 7-Eleven egg salad, which will give you diarrhea. Sometimes, what you need to do is avoid the egg salad of it
I see.
and just eat the bread.
Okay. Scrape that out.
Yeah, it's like the Oreo.
I had a little mustard to my batter,
Yeah,
Sure.
mayonnaise mustard. But anyhow,
Good call.
That's a good call. Thanks for dropping in.
He just tell you his own call was a good call.
Yeah.
Is that what he said?
Great.
Now, Vic,
Thanks, Patrick. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
I want to go through a couple things. We got City of the Day coming up. We also have a news segment. Do you want to do the news segment now? It'd be fun. Just to get it out of our
Get it out of the way.
get it out of our hair.
This is a good
Don't have to
one.
worry about it.
This is the Dopp of the morning to you.
Top of the
The
morning.
Dopps.
All right.
Top of the morning to you.
I never saw it.
Top of the morning.
Oh, hi. Okay, the top of the morning is.
Well, we got 4 today
Four.
to kick things off. This is a new segment.
We're just gonna burn through all of them.
Oh well, we have a pretty good stockpile. If you have Dopp, send them in.
Oh yeah, send us your dops of. Basically, we're looking for dops of me, Doug, and Vic, or Matt, or maybe friends of the show.
Yeah. So this is Hotline Armisen. I guess you can try it. Maybe do you have a thought on
Somebody
who this
sent
might
this
be?
to me.
Is it Doug?
They're saying it's a Doug Dopp.
Yeah, I guess a little bit.
Can we go like
Get
a
a side by
side
side there,
or-
Wes.
I can kind of see it.
Yeah,
Wait,
it's like AI Doug.
Crossfade.
where can I?
yeah. It's about as good as it's gonna get.
All right. Hey, the closer you get, it sort of starts to fall apart. All right, let's work on the side by sides another time.
Next one.
Well, that's the all timer.
It's an oldie but a goodie.
We all know that guy.
Yeah, I follow him on Instagram.
Sam Barsky, artistic knitter.
And Sam Barsky has refused to. We've reached out to him. He's
Oh
refused
yeah, I tried
to
to
be
get
a
him
part
on
of the
when he
show.
was in town, but he
he's
just
busy
ghosted
guy.
me.
He sent you a birthday video though.
We
Well,
gotta
that's
get
just
him in.
right, 'cause he-
Hanukkah.
yeah,
We gotta get him in.
That's
It
Patreon.
was a cameo. You paid for it, right?
It was like a donation.
I mean,
Oh, that's very nice.
It's a nice picture.
he doesn't see it when he looks at Vic Berger. He's like, I don't see it.
He's got the market cornered on the short sleeve sweater.
I know.
which
I
is,
know.
Does he make those? Because I really like his sweater.
Yeah,
No,
he's
he buys them at
small.
Nordstrom's.
You never know.
What is this one? An underground railroad or something? I haven't seen this design.
Yeah.
It kind of looks
it
like
looks
a.
like a mine shaft thing.
Yeah, I think that's an Atari game.
It looks like an Atari.
He's usually standing in front of the place that he's, knitted on his sweater. So
Are those owls?
What
All right, do you have one of me?
Yeah, they might be owls.
This one we get sent a lot too.
Oh yeah, that's a classic.
this was a murder. He was a murderer, wasn't
This
he?
is Portugal's first serial killer, Diego Alves, and his head was removed and preserved in 1841.
Removed.
Smart.
His head was removed.
We do get sent this a lot.
Now, interesting. This looks a little more like JD Vance than you.
Ah, yes.
See, so there is room. There's a way to get there.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, we're gonna get into my JD Vance audition.
JD Vance.
JD Vance.
JD.
JD Vance.
There we go. Boom.
Wait, I have it.
Have you seen this? Have you seen this, Ed? Have you seen this?
Right?
JD Vance.
Mandel.
JD Mandel.
Yeah.
Wow.
JD Mandel.
Oh my god.
JD Vance.
Mandel.
JD Vance in the couch. Have you heard this, Ed?
JD Mandel. JV.
JD Mandel.
PJ.
PJ. JJ. J.A. Jance.
Actually, DJ Vance would be a sweet DJ name. Somebody's got to jump on that.
Yeah.
JD Mandel.
But if we hone in this JD Vance impression, I will relocate to New York to be part of the SNL gang for the fall. So we will be.
And Lauren's watching, by the way, just so you know.
Of course he is. That's how we knew that Sarah Squirm was banned from our show because
apparently Lauren wants Steve Martin to do Tim Walz.
I read online
and
that
he
said no because he doesn't do impressions.
If you go side by side, they look a lot alike.
We got one more Dopp. This is a triple Dopp that we get a lot too.
YMCA.
The Western Truck Exchange guys.
Sure.
Or Trinity.
Vague.
Nah.
And that should be blue. Shouldn't it be blue? Why is that black?
That doesn't work.
It doesn't work. All right, that's our Dopp.
That's not a Dopp.
Dopp's
They're
in
just
the
trying to
morning
compare
to
me
you.
to
It's
Wayne.
just three
That's
guys.
Very clear.
Well, the Wayne looks
on the
kind of
right.
big.
Yeah.
Now we want to do the city of the day. We do.
Glad you could drop in.
Right.
Oh wait, can maybe Will read it?
Read the sponsorship.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh shit.
This is designed to have Will read it
Okay.
in curly.
Oh
Give me a
wow.
second.
Now are you worried about being sued by the Three Stooges estate if you do curly?
It's happened before. I honestly, I don't think I can do it right now because I lost my phone.
Oh no. You got to
my-
give it your best shot. Let's see if you can.
I mean, that's okay. I mean, all right.
Come on, I insist. Wait, so the city of the day is brought to you by.
Oh, is that
Where's the
me?
music?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was
Is
so
that
enamored
text
with
big
the
enough for
curly.
you, Will?
Yeah, that's great. How about I'll do it as a. Yeah.
City of the day is brought to you by. Action. Action.
Curly's pubic hair straightener.
Do it.
Hate having.
Do curly post stroke.
You can do any. You can do it as any character. Do it as anybody else if you.
Okay. Here, I'll do Curly's pubic hair straightener. Don't you hate? And I know, Berger, this happens to you. Having a big bushy mound of curly pubic hair. It always gets caught in zippers, pliers, and door hinges. And don't get me started with all the crumbs that get stuck in those bristles. I tried shaving, but I didn't want to go so well. It didn't go so well with the straight razor and all. That's why I invented Curly's pubic hair straightener. It's made from a horse, of course. That would be funnier.
Right.
Doing it as Alex Jones is not. Okay.
I want to Alex Jones off with you at this point.
Oh, sweet. Let's do that. It's made from horse. Just apply my ointment to your privates, and in about a week, your pubes will go from Larry to Mo. Warning. Be sure to wear your overalls before using machinery, as the crotch locks will be nice and long. Just because my name is Curly doesn't mean that my pubes are. So buy a tin of Curly's pubic hair straighteners today, available exclusively at Woolworths. Now let's hear a jingle that any stooge can dance to.
I didn't realize.
Curly's pubic hair straightener.
All right, who is the city of the day? Who's representing their city for the city of the day today?
Brendo Comprendo.
Prendo comprendo.
Hey.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
City of the day is Victoria, BC.
Whoa!
Canada.
We got Vancouverite here.
That's right. Victoria's a beautiful place. It's happening.
Named after Vic Berger. and his birthday.
It's true.
Oh, happy
ties
birthday.
in. It kind of ties in.
Does, it works.
Victoria Vic birthday.
Victoria Berger.
Thank you.
Okay, have you ever run into Will Sasso out there in the streets of Victoria?
I've never
or-
had the pleasure, unfortunately.
Is he somebody that your community, your nation, or your city is proud of? You consider him one of your own?
Oh, well, I'm kind of from the island, I guess, but yeah, BC for sure.
BC,
we love
all the way.
the Mad TV days.
Cheers.
Actually, what I love, my favorite Will Sasso bit is, do you have the Vine where you had lemons popping out of your mouth?
Yes.
Yeah. That was one of the funniest things.
I kind of
remember.
remember. I think I
Thank
read
you.
that.
Oh, I'm glad that you enjoyed that.
Did you get your start on Canadian in Canadian TV or in sketch comedy there?
Yeah, I started working. I was fortunate enough to get working as a teenager out there because there were so many. As our caller, I'm sorry, sir. What was your name again? I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Brendo Comprendo.
Brendo Comprendo can attest. There was a lot of stuff shooting in Vancouver and still is. And I got started out there doing like some teen dramas and stuff and things like this, and and then started there. Is Victoria still has the highest concentration of Satan worshippers in Canada?
I think maybe that was like a 90s thing or a late 80s thing. I don't know.
Satan's plan.
Probably probably are.
Yeah,
it's Toronto now.
It's a beautiful place. If you haven't been through Victoria and you're out there and thinking of heading to BC, you got to go through Victoria. Oh yeah.
I don't know if you go through Victoria for any reason. You'd have to go over.
You don't go over.
It's a nice cat tree he's got there.
Oh, look at all that green.
Look at that weeping willow tree.
Beautiful parking lot.
Yeah.
Don't dox me.
Look, is that where the
let me try to meet you in the middle on something here. Now look, I got Will Sasso here, who just came from a meeting with Roger Stone.
And this is part of the deep state plan. This is a false flag that Victoria actually doesn't exist, and a lot of people.
Look! When you look up there, you can see that they have these spy satellites that are looking over all of us.
And NASA consumes most of the helium that's produced in the world.
Well, I looked at all this, and I showed it to you. I got
tell
evidence.
the truth.
I got evidence that I could show you right now.
People look up at the stars and they think that must be infinite. Well, it's not.
No. That's what I just found out, because when you look at what was the impression that we left on Mars, now we're going to Mars. That's where they set things up.
Most of the geography for Mars has been duplicated on some of our maps. That's why Antarctica is a place you can't even get to with a boat. They'll turn you around because there's lush jungles there.
Now look, I set up a website, and you can look at it right now, because I've got a liquidate, and I've got a lot of DVDs, and these are items that I've had for 20 years. These are great DVDs.
I got Mad About You DVD set.
I got the entire Monty Python's Flying Circus. Okay, now that's 7 DVDs. And you can get that for $99 right now. And that's going to help pay for our legal bills. We're going to be able to keep the doors open here.
And they're never going to take it off because it's not streaming. It's hardware.
Yeah, you can't find it online. You can't find it on Netflix, all these George Soros-run companies. You can't find them up there. Yeah. So you can get these DVDs right from me.
Yeah.
You got the Three Stooges DVD directed by the Fairley brothers with Will Sasso playing Curly. It's a great movie.
Yeah. We got Bohemian Grove. We got all my behind-the-scenes footage of Bohemian Grove that I burned on the DVD.
I got the player. I got Robert Altman's The Player, and Nashville. And 2 DVDs.
And they got a shot at the beginning of the player. It just goes. It just goes and goes.
That's what they call a one-er. That's a one shot. And you see that in Jaws. You see that in a lot of movies. A lot of Stanley Kubrick movies.
Well, and Stanley Kubrick is who they brought in to basically advise the government and BlackRock and consortiums such as this,
Soros,
and the black royalty, which 600 years ago was mostly Italians who moved to England, the UK, and they don't even have names.
All right, we'll be back with more.
They don't have names, so that you can't even find them, and that's why Stanley Kubrick, when he messes up Kubrick,
I got the movie, what's her name? The Hanoi Jane Fonda Clute. I've got that on DVD.
That's a good one. Barbarella.
All right. Time out. We're done.
Just ass like corn on the cob.
This is what bugs me about these guys. We lock in on a beautiful dual impression. We're like fucking, you know, we're doing like a Grateful Dead jam.
Yeah.
And then they spoil it by playing the actual guy.
I stayed silent for a long time.
You got, I stay there hovering over it.
He's
waiting.
not a bad guy.
Hey, no, he's a good guy.
All right, stop. Now, I was like, All right, let's take a zoomer or a hotliner. I need some water, Alicia. Please, goddammit, I'm dying.
We have 200.
Whoa, I want to bring this up real quick. You know how much I love Waterloo Black Cherry. I drink this like water.
Me too.
It's a great beverage.
That flavor, that brand.
Perfect. When it's ice cold, there's nothing better.
I agree.
But they have a big problem at the factory. Big problem. You get a case of this stuff, almost a guarantee you're going to get 1 or 2 cans that have this bloated bottom to it.
Mm-hmm.
That makes it almost, you have to pour it into a cup.
Bloated.
Yeah.
I mean, what am I going to do? You know, try to bounce, falls right over. I got to spill. Now, this has been going on. This is not an isolated incident. This has been years. And my friends at Waterloo, please look into this. What is this can't be.
Too much carbonation.
Yeah. Figure it out. Get your engineers, your product designers on it because my cans keep spilling over and making a big mess on my keyboard.
Wow.
So
that's something.
And look, what do we do, Trump? We have this is a big problem.
And a lot of people are saying why. My Trump is just, it's devolved into, it sounds like a fat cartoon bee.
And we have to very strongly. We have to.
And a lot of people.
I think my best Trump impression is only in text form, like if you read it. So like I was texting with a friend about JD Mandel and like how when Trump is going to drop him.
Yep.
And I just wrote to him, basically the quote from him would be, look, now I won't do this, I can't do the impression that well, but the text would be, look, we like JD, right? We like him, okay? But he's a little light, isn't he? We like JD. We hope he has a nice life. And then, this is not a smart guy. Nice guy, not smart. We need someone real smart. I thought, well, if they're going to change things up, I guess I better change things up. You can't have something so unfair happen.
That's perfect.
But I will change things up. I will change things up here so very strongly your head will spin. So if we can get over that, get that over to you or James Austin Johnson.
James Austin Johnson.
Yeah.
My
that stuff is great.
That is unreal. Unbelievable. Just watching him walk down the street doing it.
Just casually.
I just want to walk with him through his neighborhood. When he's like, what was the one he was just doing? We want to go to, what was he talking about? Some restaurant, like Bennigan's.
Buca de Beppo.
Buca de Beppo. We want to take the things off the wall. We should be allowed to take
well, I think I've told this on the show, but I was hanging out with him after SNL. And like, it was their season finale, and I happened to be there backstage because, that's what I do. When I'm in New York, I pop in. But... anyways, this is like after they do the stupid curtain call, they're all waving to their family and thing. I'm upstairs in the hallway with him, and we're doing Trump back and forth. Oh, but he's doing the shit that wouldn't go on the air because it was too obscure, you know. Right. So he's going like this: my morning jacket with Jim James. He's like doing obscure indie rock references.
Yeah.
We love Jim James. We like his solo records.
It's one of those things that I could listen to that for hours.
Days,
just him talk about, just
anything.
read a menu to me or whatever. We got, for starters, see, I can't, I want to hear him.
That's why I'm worried about my upcoming JD Vance impression because there's not like a good juicy center of it that is something to build from.
I think there are
the eyeliner, we'll talk about the eyeliner.
I think there are some impressions that should just be a guy talking.
Yeah.
Like when remember when Chevy Chase used to do Gerald Ford?
Yeah, it didn't look anything like him.
Or sound anything like him.
Yeah.
He just says, I'm Gerald Ford.
Right.
Which it's
and the joke was he was clumsy and he would fall down.
Yes.
Because I guess Gerald Ford would sometimes have some, fall down the steps or something like that.
Yeah. That's funny.
Always funny. And it created a lifetime of pain and addiction for Chevy Chase. Because he got hurt doing that shit, and then we got addicted to painkillers. Very depressing. Who wants to talk to me and Will and Chad?
Smilodon, can you have a quick chat before you deliver this next letter?
What?
We love our postal workers. Oh, no, you can't?
Okay. Fair enough.
I want to ask you guys.
What are you saying? We can't hear you. You got to unmute.
You're all into music. Have you used any AI tools to make anything yet?
Well, yeah, I mean, let's get into this real quick.
I love it. No,
Me too.
Wait, he is on.
You hate it?
No, I have a love-hate relationship with it.
So
Because I think it's fascinating and interesting. Because I write songs and I studied it and everything, and it just does it instantly. I don't know. I know it's probably bad, but I just still think it's fucking crazy.
What have you used? Suno?
Suno, yeah.
I did a whole album that is like bachelor-coded country music.
Yes.
I'm writing all the lyrics and making it piece by piece. So basically like making a chorus, branching
That's
out.
what I would do. Make a whole song out of it, make a little intro, a little...
And it's good.
Little
in my opinion, it's good.
I know.
And it's only getting better.
What's your opinion?
It's soulless in a way, though, but like you can get it almost... Once you get the human element in there.
But like in order to like make a demo or something, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Give us about 5 minutes.
He hates it, but the bottom line is this shit ain't going nowhere.
That's my point.
It's as bad as it's ever going to be right now. I think AI will be used in every creative endeavor to some degree, even if it's just like I need a 4-second bar.
Well, it already is in so many things. Like there's video editing and you can just put stuff in there that's not there. And there are good aspects of it that's already in use.
Music, by definition, almost is a programming, algorithmic. Piece of math. It's math. It's like, and it Western music generally follows certain rules of what comes next, and it's all numbers. You can like think about it that way. I still contend that everything I've heard from Suno, respectfully, I've listened to some of your stuff. It all sounds like shit to me.
Yeah, and that's a fair and valid opinion.
It sounds like that. It sounds like where it's coming from. It sounds like phony and plastic, and
I feel potential like down the line. I don't know. Don't look at it right now.
Exactly, I think I listened a little bit of you guys talking about it, and I'm just kidding. It doesn't sound like. It sounds like what you want it to sound like, which is very programmed, mass-produced. Popular radio-friendly country music, which is a place where I don't like the way that sounds. I don't like the ground that you're pulling stuff from. But isn't it true that all that software is doing is literally pulling sounds from other of recorded music? So it's like
I would say like it's no different than sampling. If you are very against sampling, then you'll probably be very against AI music. But it's the same thing.
But they have to pay people that they sample. After De La Soul's landmark album, 3 Feet High and Rising.
Well, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Depends on how much you change it, how much you change the sample, and also that legal battle is being fought right now. Right. We don't know what the outcome of it will be.
You absolutely have to pay people for samples. I'm sure you've seen the meme that's gone around now that Thong Song by Cisco fell under scrutiny because Ricky Martin's people. They get something like some ridiculous number, the lion's share of the royalties from it because he says "Livin' La Vida Loca" in it. Not even a sample, just saying the words. These artists, in my opinion, if there's technology that is able to create AI music and unearth these artists and their wares, alive or dead, then the technology should go back down and pay those artists if those artists in an artist union want to be a part of it. If they want to be.
I think that will probably happen. I think the end of this will probably be Suno, Udio, whoever else exists is just going to have to pay a licensing fee to the record labels who will take most of that money, and then the artists will get the standard pennies that record labels give them.
But when photography was around, when the camera was invented, Impressionism was the response to that, and that's like the future,
Yeah,
Impressionism as a painting style?
Painting, yeah.
Impressionism.
And everybody thought that painters
were
were like, the camera is the devil. This is not art, blah, blah, blah. Now we all have a camera in our pocket. I think it is happening. And I think if you get into it early enough and you kind of learn how to use this stuff and not be afraid of it, you're going to be better off for it if you're any kind of an artist.
Right, you got to be prepared for it.
How it's going to, suss out with the payments and who owes who what, I don't know. That's all being.
Yeah, how about like just pay artists now already? Get that started.
Yeah.
You know, it's like what the hell.
You know how
I don't know how much AI you're going to use when you have to skin and eat your neighbors, which I will do.
You know how the visual AIs, there's videos that it makes things all trippy and they smear together because it's like errors.
Yeah, is that moshing? Is that like mashing?
Well, and like if you do an AI image, it's like off in this way that like is uncanny and funny.
Some of them aren't.
And that's just going to get better and better. But I think right now is really the heyday of it because it's going to just like perfect in the future. And right now it looks funny and wrong. So I wonder if in the future they're going to be like, I want to get the old version. You know what I'm saying?
It's going to be a nostalgia.
Like,
There'll be a nostalgia.
You're right. There'll be a nostalgia for when AI was like looking all busted, how it looks now.
There's a model out right now that just came out this week called Flux, which is basically like the de facto king of all text-to-image generators, and it doesn't have any governors on it for like it doesn't have any governors for like not being able to make celebrities. So they put out an image of Kanye West that they made with it. That's like it is a photograph of Kanye West.
We love Kanye.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Now I'm picking.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry. No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I mean, yes. I quickly am self-aware of like the more I.
This is gaslighting.
It's all good. It's all good.
Talk about it. I'm like, oh shit! I'm a 48-year-old man talking about AI. I sound like an idiot.
So am I, by the way.
Yeah.
But I don't like. I've been very deep in it. I'm using every tool that's available as soon as it's available, making the best shit that I can make with it. There are definitely limitations still to all of it. The text to image, the text to video, text to music, image to image, image to video, all that shit. But we're about like 2.5 years into the consumer availability of this.
Sure.
2.5 years. If you go back and you look at like Tron or Last Starfighter at the kind of rudimentary computer graphics and you compare that to an Avengers movie now, that is going to happen to AI technology in a much smaller time span.
He's taking a video of the dog.
If she plays anything on that keyboard, she's out for good. No, hey.
Well, do you know about song poems? Do you know what those were in the 50s and 60s?
Yes.
No.
They would advertise in the back of like magazines, like, "Give me your lyrics, and we'll turn it into a hit."
Great movie. There's a great movie about that.
Off the charts.
Off the charts.
The song poem story. It's really
Interesting.
good, and it's just this. It lets normal people create music, and they're writing the lyrics. It's like if Elton John wrote lyrics and then didn't, because he's not, who was it? Yeah, he knows how to play piano, but he doesn't know how to write lyrics or whatever. So it's, I don't know.
That's what I use it for primarily.
Yeah,
I've been trying to train myself on Logic Pro and all this other shit, and I'm like, well, I can just write my songs, and this thing will make them, and I can get it to sound pretty close to what it sounds like in my head.
Right, and you can't copyright chord changes too. So if you have something, you know what I mean. So I don't know. I think there's
everything, like
potential.
There's a certain like homogeny to it, no matter what prompts you put in there, where it feels like it's something organic, and that feels like my brain is like detects it as being what it is, which is not real. So
I think that'll be gone in like 3 to 5 years.
Okay.
And you're gonna know. You're still gonna know.
It'll just be music. I don't think you'll care. I mean, I think now most people don't care how their media is made. If the media is good and entertaining, they'll watch it, they'll listen to it, whatever. And I think that ultimately is where we're going. There will exist simultaneously human-made stuff, AI-made stuff, and nobody will really care about
but
what
it
is
shouldn't
what.
be identified as such?
If you want to.
Yeah.
I mean, do you have to identify every movie that uses a computer?
Well, you can.
All
in
of
the
them,
credits.
you know.
You will,
I just think AI will be used in every creative endeavor, at least to some degree, even if it's in a movie to like color correct or something like that, you know.
Sure. All right. I mean,
but replacing what a rock star is, I think people do want to know who their music is coming from. This is the argument we have all the time.
It's already happening.
I always say
I'm shutting it down.
All right.
Shutting down the argument because I want to talk Stooges with you.
Sure. Oh, okay.
I want to talk Stooges with you because Vic, you got to watch the Fairley Brothers Three Stooges movie because we're obviously Stooge freaks.
You guys are super into the Stooges. It's great.
Oh yeah.
And you, I assume, are too.
Yeah.
You didn't come to that being like you came to that as a fan. The Three Stooges
yes,
movie.
a fan, but not not as much of a fan as I was once I got into it.
Right.
That level of having to watch all of it really gave me a different appreciation for it because I was a fan of the Stooges, but it was basically, for me, it was something that was on after school when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big Stooge head, watching
not going
it
to
religiously.
conventions.
No. But the Farrelly brothers are big Stooge heads. They wanted to make this movie for years and years. Mike Cerrone, who went to school with the guys and played hockey with them, as the writer, along with Pete and Bob, is like a Stooge encyclopedia. I would say Sean Hayes and I sort of had the same sort of exposure to the Stooges, and then Chris Diamantopoulos, who played Mo, is another Stooge encyclopedia like Mike Cerrone. Where
He's uncanny in that movie.
It's
I mean, you
unbelievable.
are uncanny in them, but he's like
he's
who the fuck is this guy? Because now we were looking him up and we're like, oh, this guy's been in a million things that you kind of forget that he wasn't probably he wasn't that. He hadn't done a lot before that.
No, he's been working nonstop for years, and also was on Broadway for years. And years.
Okay.
Chris is ridiculously talented and also like a journeyman character actor. So you only find out afterwards who Chris is.
Now, do you go into that knowing, like, we're gonna catch shit for this?
Yeah.
Because what do
kind
you
of like
what
when Chad decides to make AI. What?
Yeah, like.
And
there's no way to win. There's no way to. There's no way.
There's no way to win.
Right. There's no way to win.
No way to win.
Yeah.
And that's. But do it. Hey, if you want to fucking do it, go ahead and do it. It's a collective.
Gotta be done.
I mean,
It's gotta be done.
Dudesy said, "Who's gonna do?" Happy birthday to Kyle.
Yes, happy birthday. But you're just going to do it was that the mindset at the time?
Huh?
Is it the mindset at the time?
Yes.
Everybody's going like, whatever. We know what's going to happen. People are going to shit on this because how do you fucking approach this?
I think, and you know, what the Farrelly brothers kept saying is, this is a love letter. We're doing this with love. And as performers, we don't really have to worry about it because you have, a couple of guys in the Farrelly brothers who have made, incredible movies that are classic comedies. And they're pretty much taking the heat going, no, we're making this movie. So I didn't really feel all that daunted by it. Right. And I really wanted to throw it up against the wall and see what happened.
Yeah,
I was curious to, I'm happy to enter into that conversation. I'm thinking then, after this movie comes out, with people going, hey, I'm a big Stooge fan. That was bullshit. Yeah. And then I could kind of go, well, I don't know. There's no way I'm not going to do it. So, you know what I mean? Like, I'm fucking doing it. But the opposite has happened.
Yeah, it's kind of taken on a life of its own, right?
I always, people will talk to me about the film that are Stooge fans. Yeah. And I encourage them to be honest about what they thought of the movie. But they do go, what was great is that it got my kid into watching the Stooges with me like I did with my dad.
Yeah.
And that's pretty special because when I watched so much Three Stooges, of course, leading up to making the movie and during the film, and we were constantly, all we're doing is the Stooges. It's their blueprint.
Right.
Words wouldn't come out of my mouth that Curly didn't say. And at that point I knew, like there was one time where Pete was like, all right, there's one scene where we were doing a reshoot and it was like, uh-oh. I was like, oh, he would have never said uh-oh.
Oh, right.
Like stuff like that.
It's too modern.
Yes. And Mike Cerrone was on the other side of and Chris wasn't working that day and it was like, Mike Cerrone, where's Cerrone?
Yeah.
People, he says, uh-oh, just going. Yeah. That's a very good Pete Farrelly, by the way. And Mike comes over, hey, what happened? This is a very good Mike. What happened? And I said, uh-oh. He goes, you never would have said uh-oh. What are you fucking uh-oh? No. Uh-oh. I don't, see?
Yeah.
Anyway.
No.
So.
He wouldn't have the awareness of the situation to say, uh-oh.
That's another good point. Yeah. Why would he be able to predict something bad happening or have an opinion of it? So I really, wanted to represent the Stooges as well as we could, but I watched so much Stooges in making this film that when I saw the movie, I was like, who are these guys? Because everything that we did and planned, and we're like, oh, let's do the thing where they blah blah blah, and we're literally just laughing our asses off all day at what the Stooges did and getting to make believe that it was like an interactive video game. Please don't go now into video.
Yeah, because now with AI, you can just make the Three Stooges movie by beep, beep, doop, doop, beep, boop, beep, and put it up on the screen.
Kind of. I actually think that's a big misconception too. It does require a lot of work to use these tools. Look at it. This motherfucker talks for 2 hours about his Three Stooges one line. And
don't forget about wrestling.
Oh God, yeah. Don't ask me
when
any
he
questions
starts talking about AI.
Don't do it.
I'm not talking about wrestling because I don't care about AI or wrestling.
We don't have time. Yeah, those are two things that I know Tim Heidecker.
Well, I remember going to see it as a goof. I'll be honest with you.
As a goof.
Yeah, as a goof. Like, this is going to be so bad.
Yeah, get Rip Roaring Stone.
Yeah, and then, like, being like, all right. Like, I don't need my criticisms are like, well, listen, I don't need, like, a backstory of where the Three Stooges came from. Like, what? But I understand from the Fairley Brothers, you guys' perspective, like, we have to make a whole movie. And that's probably why, like, actual Three Stooges movies aren't considered very good. It's like, you can't, like, at some point, like, it stretches too thin or something.
Yeah, sure.
But I think it turns out that, and you said it this morning, like, it's actually fucking funny and really well. It's a good movie.
There are two things I never saw before. You reached out and grabbed the guy's armpit hair. And pulled it out, and then you did somebody's nose hair. I laughed so hard. I never thought about doing that.
Brian Doyle Murray plays the cardinal who shows up to say that the orphanage is getting closed down.
Yeah.
Sounds a lot like Alex Jones. And that's a very good Brian Doyle Jones.
Yeah, that is. Which is also the Blues Brothers plot, I believe, right? Something about shutting down a
there's 5 stories,
convent.
right?
Yeah.
So and then it was like everything we wanted to do with, I mean, what a wonderful guy. He's like, yeah, sure. He's like, yeah, well, great. Well, we got some thing. And the hair department is like, you're just kind of coming up with it on the fly. And that one, which I was like, what do you guys do? What? Why? What? That was idiotic. The best thing was, so we, Mo doles out most of the punishment in the Three Stooges.
Sure.
And we did some rehearsing in L.A. We basically, we slapped the shit out of each other like on a mat and rolled around, and then we kind of apologized to each other and flew to Atlanta because we were going to slap the shit out of each other for 2 months because that's what they did.
Right. There was no. Yeah. This is actual contact.
We hit each other. They put in the noises, but we 100%. And it got to the point where Diamantopoulos, Mo, would be like, Willie, come here. And he'd go over to Video Village and show Pete and Bob. I was thinking, blah, blah, blah. And then this and that. And it hit me. I'm like, we're not fucking, And so when people were going to hit us, Chris, and we would show them how to do it. Like Sofia Vergara has to go,
Yeah.
And so, you idiots, Brian Doyle Murray does a backhand. And goes, bang, bang, bang. So Chris was like, okay, now you got to be very careful. See, we're going to stagger like this. And then you, and then, okay. And then Brian Doyle just goes, you idiot. Before the cameras are on a truck somewhere and we're doing this. And he's like, and all he does is catch Chris with his big wooden knuckle, just bang in the temple. And which was the best, where Chris, okay, all right, let's try it again. But it was so much fun just slapping the shit out of each other.
No teeth were spit out during the making of the movie or anything
Thankfully,
like that.
no,
No broken noses. All right,
What
Matt,
about the eye, real quick, what about the eye doinks?
Oh,
how do you do the eye doink?
So here's the thing.
I tell you what. Pause.
Okay.
If you want to find out how to do the eye doink safely, you have to stick around for the second half of the show. How do you like that, Matt? We're gonna tease. We're also gonna do my. I got a suit here. We got a suit here and some eyeliner, and we're gonna try to do my SNL audition for JD Mandel. And we got Vic's Rock News. We've got. I want to talk to you about your Randy Newman impression, if you don't mind.
Do you do Curly Joe Dorita too?
No.
Oh.
No, and it's such a God rest his soul when people go, "Hey, you were Curly Joe." Excuse me, sir. No, well.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. Join us at patreon.com/Office Hours Live. Dudesy podcast. Do you guys have a Patreon?
Yeah, patreon.com/Dudesy.
Let's join. Sign up for a couple of Patreons today. Any other things you want to plug before we go behind the Great Wall?
For the Right Reasons, Chad K. Country album is on Spotify for you to shit all over, or kind of go like, that's mid 2000s country, or I'm a big Bachelor fan and I love every single.
And
I
like
will
The
say,
Bachelor,
he wrote the shit out of it. It's fun to listen to because it is. Why is there a country album about The Bachelor?
Of course,
because Chad Kultgen exists.
Incongruous.
Incongruous.
They're in lockstep, actually.
And what is you've got another podcast where you talk to your very MAGA parents?
Yeah, that one's called The Necessary Conversation, and I also do one with another friend where we break down The Bachelor like a pro sport, and I've been secretly training players to infiltrate the game for the past 3 seasons.
Okay, and what's that one called?
Game of Roses.
Game of Roses. So you got all sorts of things going on. Good for you. All right, we'll be back in 5 minutes with more Office Hours.
That's a good question.
Relax. Enjoy yourselves a cup of Three Stooges coffee. Enjoy the show.